Hi all, good afternoon. Just waiting for a couple of more people to join in and we'll get started in another 5 to 10 minutes. Hi guys, just waiting for another 5 10 minutes for people to join in. Sorry for the delay, we'll get started soon. Thanks for waiting. Okay, guys. So while we are waiting for others, let's get started. So what we'll do is, in the meantime, if you can introduce yourself, just like a couple of liners. What's your educational background, and what's your understanding about financial modeling as a course, and what will be your long-term career plan, as in what's attracting you towards this particular course with EduPristine. So this will help me understand, what's your game plan, and accordingly we can take it forward. So just couple of lines without making it too detailed. So guys, you can just type it down in the Q&A portal, or in maybe in the chat portal, and I can read it out for everybody else's reference. Okay, guys. So just to introduce a couple of candidates here. So we have got Tarun working in internal audit for the past 5 years, and his entire incentive here is to learn modeling so that he can move up the career path. Welcome, Tarun. We have got a doctor here. Hi, Dr. Sunil. He is a finance expert in smart city projects, and he did some financial modeling for multi-level parking. So this is what we are going to cover when we get into more detail, that there are so many aspects of financial modeling, and it's like a vast topic. So what we want to cover in this course is what I'll get into detail so that you have clarity what we're going to achieve in the next few sessions in case you plan to join. We have got alumni. He was done MCOM and ACMA. He's a retired PSU employee, has some experience in Microsoft Excel. Welcome, alumni. We have got Hanush, did his MBA and also is doing CFA level 1. That's great. I think that will be very relevant for you, Hanush, to go for financial modeling. So just like we'll take a couple of more minutes for you guys to type in your experience. This will help me in collating the overall background for most of you, and then we can get started. Sorry for the delay, guys. Just waiting for a couple of more people to join so that we do not have to repeat what we have covered. So just wait for 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. Guys, just let me log in from the other system. It seems like there's a audio quality issue. So just give me like a couple of minutes. I'll join in from a new desktop and let me know if you're still facing the issue. So sorry for keeping you waiting and thanks for patience. Just give me 2-3 minutes. I'll get back to you. Thank you, guys. Sorry guys to keep you waiting. It's a Murphy's law, like whatever could go wrong went wrong. I think it's all good now. Are you able to see me? Are you able to hear me well? And are you able to see the screen? So sorry for the delay, guys. But now we are all set to get forward. Just give me a confirmation, guys. Are you able to see me? Are you able to hear me? And are you able to see the screen well? Great. So what we'll do, I just got your intro. Thanks for that, guys. So seems like there are people from all the background. So what we'll do is we'll get back to like what's your educational background is and does it matter if you are doing financial modeling as a topic. But without wasting any more time, let's go through the slides. And I'll keep it like very much focused on what is financial modeling as a program is. So maybe we'll focus a bit on what EduPristine can offer. But before that, I'll spend more and more time whether financial modeling as a program is good for you or not, right? Then we'll talk a bit about EduPristine, like what EduPristine has to offer when it comes to financial modeling. And then finally, we'll talk about like some of the contact information in case you're interested and you want to go ahead, who are the people you can get in touch with, right? So guys, first of all, like this is the first question which I always keep getting asked, whether financial modeling is an art or a science. So anybody, like what's your view? Is it an art or a science? When I say art, it's like very vague. It's like it depends on how you take it, and there's no uh, specific method behind it. Others say it's science, like there's a particular formula to it, and there's a way you do it. So what do you think? How many people think it's an art? How many people think it's a science? Okay, so that's interesting, and I think that's bang on. I've got like three people telling me that it's neither art nor science, it's both. And that's exactly, I want to pass on the message for that. It's an art and science both, but just getting into a bit more specific, when you get started with financial modeling, it may feel like more of science, as in, you'll learn some of the methodology, some of the formulae, some of the key specifics that how you should tackle it to get started. But then it's an art, as in you can just explore it the way you want to do it. So there's nothing right or wrong. It's just about how you do it. So everybody has a different working style, everybody has a different presentation style. So accordingly, you can have your own financial modeling style. But yes, it becomes art only after some level, but in the starting, it's a science. You have to understand some of the basics before you can explore it for yourself. So that's great, guys. So what we do in financial modeling, I'll give you a quick background. So think about like if and I know that many of you have worked in Excel already, but this is the whole objective. And I'll give you like very, very brief idea, but the scope of financial modeling is much more vast. So think about, let's say I'm doing the estimates for a company for the next year, which is 2021. And when I do the estimates, I'm just like trying to estimate that, okay, what could be the volume be? So the volume the company can sell is, let's say 2000 units. The price, so let's say the company is into selling refrigerators. So the price per refrigerator could be 16,000 rupees. But the cost to the company is, let's say 11,000 rupees, which is just to manufacture and to supply the refrigerator to the retailers. So in this case, if I make a company's income statement, it will look like the company will generate a revenue, and the revenue could be equal to 16,000 units into 16,000 rupees per unit multiplied by 2,000 rupees per unit. So this is the total revenue. The cost will be equal to 11,000 into volumes, which is 22 lakh. So the profit what the company will make is equal to 32 minus 22. But guys, this is not the amount which I can take home. I still have to bother about the rent I will pay for the manufacturing go down, for the go down or for the manufacturing unit. So let's deduct that. So let's say the rent is another 5 lakh rupees. There will be some salaries.
So let's say the salaries is another 2 lakh rupees, sorry, 20 lakh rupees. And there could be many more expenses, right? So let's say overall, the profit which I can take home is equal to this profit minus this. Now guys, I can get into accounting specifics that okay, this is a gross profit or this is an operating profit, but that's not the agenda here. It's just like I want to keep it very layman. So the profit I can take home is 75 lakh rupees, but then the government will say no, 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 you cannot take this money home before paying tax. So let's say I pay tax of 20%, so of this I'll pay another 20%. So the money which I can actually take home is my net profit or net income, which is equal to 60 lakh rupees. Now, the issue here is, guys, let's say if I do it on pen and paper, if I do it on pen and paper, it will look like this. As in, you would not see any formula there. Everything is hard coded. So after doing all of this, if I tell you, oh, no, no, you know what? Because of the vaccine in the country, the environment has improved. So the volume of the company can be 2,100 units. You'll be like, oh my God, what the hell? Now the revenues will be more, as a result, cost will be more. So the profit will change, this profit will change, the tax will change, and the net income will change. It's the entire work which has to be redone again. But because you're doing it on Excel sheet and because everything is linked, what do I call it's linked? Revenue is not equal to a hard-coded number, which is 3.2 crore rupees. It's equal to this 2000 and this 16,000. So if you make it 2,100, everything changes automatically. And this is financial modeling. No, 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 this is not financial modeling, but this is the reason you do financial modeling on a tool called Microsoft Excel. Because you keep changing your assumptions, and if you change your one assumption, it may have an impact on everything else. Now, because it's such an evolving world, we are into an economy which is a globalized economy. So are you going to change each and every data line item with a change in one assumption? No. Now guys, the example I gave you is just like a very, very small model. The real life model can be 100 times bigger than this. So think about, are you going to spend like 100 hours if you think that the volumes will not be 2000, the volumes will be 2100? No. All you do is you just change this number, everything will change automatically. Okay. So this is just like a very small glimpse of it. So what I'll do, guys, in this case is before we get further, I'm getting lots of requests just to introduce myself. This is Ansh. I've done my MBA in finance. Before that, I've done my BCom from Delhi University. Also, I've done my CFA. So I've cleared all 3 levels of CFA. And I've got an experience of like almost 12 to 13 years now. And that's into sell side and buy side. When I say sell side, like I've been a research analyst. And when I say buy side, it's mainly working with investment banking firm. So if you want to know more, you can let me know, but I would not waste too much time on that. Now, this is the key question being asked, that who are the people for who are the people who may be eligible for this course. So generally, guys, it's generally good that you've done your graduation already before taking up this course. You have to have good communication and writing skills. The reason being, you don't need that communication skills for doing this course per se, but if you do not have those skills, you may have a problem to leverage on your financial modeling going forward, right? So either you already have those skills or make sure that you develop those skills while doing your financial modeling course, right? And finally, guys, this is a pre-requirement kind of a thing that you should have some basic knowledge of Microsoft Excel. When I say some basic knowledge of Microsoft Excel, like you should know how to punch in numbers, how to do some basic stuff like add numbers and deduct numbers. But even if you don't know it, it should not take you like more than half an hour, 1 hour to get into YouTube and get a basic idea. The reason being because when we get started with the financial modeling course, we do not want to spend too much time getting into those basics. Okay. So this is the first key requirement I would say, that you should have some idea about the look and feel of Microsoft Excel and maybe some basic functions if you can take care of it. And the second important requirement, guys, is you should have some basic knowledge of finance. Now, I'm not saying that you should be an accountant or you should have done some finance course, but just like having some idea that, okay, what is an income statement? What is a balance sheet? What is a cash flow statement is good for you. So let's say if you have no idea about Microsoft Excel or you do not have any idea about finance, you should still join financial modeling course for what you should join, but then be ready to make sure that you spend some extra time to learn the basics while also attending the classes. So the your work pressure will be a bit more in the starting couple of classes just to come to the par at other people. Now, for who these people, this course might be relevant for. So this course is relevant for anybody who wants to do anything in terms of analytical. So when I say analytical, let's say if you're into corporate finance and you want to analyze that which particular project is better than the other, financial modeling is a course. Let's say if you want to be a sell-side research analyst, financial modeling is a must. For that matter, I would say, let's say even if you're in supply chain management and you want to see that, or you are into, you are a project manager, you want to see whether this project is profitable or how long this project will take, what are the cost and benefit of this particular project. Again, financial modeling is important. So guys, anything to do with analysis, whether it's in investment banking, equity research, project management, it can be your commercial banking, it can be your supply chain management, you need financial modeling as a curriculum, right? So let me just pause here for like maybe a few seconds in case you got any doubts. Otherwise, we can take Q&A session towards the end of the class. Okay, so I have a question right now that can you show a pro forma certificate that would be given after completion of the course and exam? This is to know the exact wording of the course, etc. So Tarun, let me just like, I think it's there on one of the slides. I'll just walk you through it. Okay. So maybe I'll spend a bit more time on that particular slide so that you have an idea. Cool. So in the meantime, guys, let's continue. So the total curriculum, as you would see, is structured over 14 days. That would mean 7 weeks. So there could be a Saturday Sunday batch. So it will be done in 7 weeks, like 7 Saturdays and 7 Sundays. But if you attend one class per week, then it'll take 14 weeks. That's roughly like 3.5 to 4 months. So what we'll do on day one, we'll just understand the basics of Excel. We'll talk about like some of the shortcuts, some of the formulas, and just getting comfortable with Excel. Now, guys, though we call it a basic Excel, but generally I would say it's more than basic. It's advanced Excel, right? So that's the reason I told you that if you have some background about Excel already, that'll always be helpful before you come for this course. But if you don't have it, be sure that you are a fast learner, and also you can make up by spending more time before class and after class. Day 2, 3, and 4, what we do here, guys, is we do a dummy financial modeling model. So we just take an FMCG company. When I say FMCG, it's a fast moving consumer good. So we try to just like go through a case study and try to analyze the company, like what could be the company's revenue, what could be the company's cost, what could be the company's volume, price. As a result, what could be the company's profit? As a result, what could be the company's value might be? To understand whether you should own the company or you should sell the shares if you already have the shares. So this is a very fantastic case study in the sense that you get the basics of finance, you get the basics of financial modeling, and also because it's a fast moving consumer goods, everybody has an idea, how a retail company works. So if I give you a first assignment on, let's say, pharma, you'll be like, no, I don't know anything about pharma. But FMCG, everybody has some idea about what is the demand and supply dynamics for an FMCG company. Then project day 5 and 6, we do something on project finance. We do couple of projects Generally for people, who wants to get into project finance, this will be useful. Day 7 and 8, we do mergers and acquisitions. So we do a case study on how the company, so let's say there's a company A and there's a company B, both of them merge. So what will be the impact on the financial statements? How do you make a consolidated statement? What is a consolidated statement? What was the financial statement of a company A when it was a standalone. The financial statement of company B when it was standalone. But now both of them have merged. So what the combined financial statement will look like? Now, guys, it's not so simple as you might think. It's not 1 plus 1, because many times when two companies join together, it can be more than 2. So 1 plus 1 can be more than 2. So that's the whole analytical part, that how much more than 2? Will it be 2.1? Will it be 2.5? Will it be 3? So that's the analytical part of it, right? Day 9 and 8, we get into one of the global listed company. I think many times we do an assignment on Accenture and it's a live model. So day 2 and 3 and 4 is a dummy, because that company is not listed. That company doesn't exist. But this is a real company, which is a global listed company, a live case scenario. So in this case, we do not rely on any case study. If we need some data, we go to the company website and pull the data. Or maybe we go to the SEBI website or the Security Exchange Commission, the SEC website, to pull the data, which is already there in the public domain. The reason we call it live case study, guys, because once you get into a real world, nobody is going to give you a case study like a classroom. You have to get it from all the publicly available sources. So in this case study, we are not going to use anything which is provided by EduPristine, as in like we'll use the platform provided by EduPristine and we'll use some of the files. But in terms of input, we are not going to use anything in the form of input which is provided by EduPristine. And that's the reason we call it a live case study. Getting to day 11, we learn some macros, or people call it VBA. Day 12, we'll talk about again some of the projects, and we'll talk about some of the construction project. And there's a very important concept called interest during construction. We call it IDC. So what's the whole logic of interest during construction? That if I'm paying interest for a house which is still in construction stage, is it my expense? Maybe not, because I'm not getting the benefit of the house yet. I'll get the benefit of the house only when it's constructed and I start staying into it. So in this case, how do you deal with that particular scenario? And guys, as I told you, it's important that you do financial modeling, but important that you present your output to somebody else. And you cannot present like a whole data dump. You have to convert it into the form of output. And what could be the better way other than charts? There's an important saying, right? A chart speaks 1,000 words. So this is very important that you convert all the analysis into charts. So there's a whole class for 5 hours where we'll just discuss about various charts. So it's just like 4 charts are mentioned here, but we do a lot more than this. And lastly, day 14 is what we call as advanced Excel. It's really advanced. And we do some further work in terms of knowing some more formulas and something more analytical to do with financial modeling. So this is how the course is structured over 14 days. Each class is 5 hours. So we are talking about 70 hours of your time investment. Again, I'll take a pause in case you got any burning question. Otherwise, we can wait for the end of the class, as in end of the PPT, and then you can ask me some questions. Do right now is I'll just show you a preview. Okay, before that, couple of questions. Will there be a capstone project for the certification? I don't exactly know what do you mean by capstone project, Tarun. So if you can give me some more detail around it. Sneha, is the timing of classes still will be flexible? So that's the question, I think generally they update it on the last slide, like what are the timings and when the batch is going to start. Let me just confirm. But if not, like I'll give you the contact detail of the people who will give you all those details. No, no. So in this case, like I think they have not decided yet or they have not finalized it yet. So maybe if you can get in touch with the institute and they'll give you the details. So I'll give you the contact details of the people who are the right people to reach in this case. Okay, so Tarun, yes. So there will be two kind of certificates, and I'll come to it like just in 2-3 minutes. Sorry, another 5-10 minutes. So let me just come to that, and then I'll explain you what are the certificates and how do you get those certificates. What are the course fees and timings, Yogesh? I'll come to it. Just give me some time, okay? So let me complete like all these slides quickly now, and then I'll come back to it. Now, guys, I showed you a sample preview of a financial modeling, which was a very small one. But if time permits, I'll give you more details around some of the assignments, which is done by EduPristine. But the point here is why financial modeling? So as I told you, it's a prerequisite. If you do investment banking, you do equity research, it's commercial banking or any of these projects, financial modeling is a must. Now, guys, I would say that it's just not any job, but even if you're taking any financial decision for yourself. For example, if I think that, okay, should I buy a house or I go for a rent? I do financial modeling. If I'm thinking, oh, should I open an ice cream parlor? I do financial modeling. Oh, should I invest into the market or should I repay my loan? Again, financial modeling. So anything to do with numbers, you need financial modeling. Now, guys, if you have a certificate in financial modeling, it gives you that, the leverage in your career compared to the other people who do not have this course. Because whatever the field is, unless you are into media, you don't need financial modeling. Or let's say you are into authoring books, you don't need financial modeling. But anything analytical, whether you are on a marketing side, finance side, supply chain, it's a must these days to have financial modeling as an experience. Okay, so there's a question whether these simple examples like renting or buying a home will be covered. Fortunately, unfortunately not, because the level for these classrooms will be even much higher. But once we cover those levels, I think, doing it for buying or renting your house, those kind of analysis will become easier for you. So, this classroom will give you an aptitude, how to approach these things. So if you have an aptitude to value a company, I'm sure you'll get an aptitude to make those real life decisions easy, whether to rent a house, to buy a house, to invest into the market, or to repay a loan. Those things become more practical and easier to take a call on. Now, guys, what are the skills required to build financial models? So you need two key skills, I would say. One thing is you need to know Excel better and you should know your finance better. And once you do this, then it's all about experience. You're reading a lot and you're knowing a lot about the company. So think about if I want to do research on, let's say, Tata Steel. So I would say that the requirement would be I should know Microsoft Excel as a tool. Okay. Number one, I should know accounting and finance. Number two. And third, which is more important than the first two, is that I read a lot about the company. I read a lot about the industry. I read a lot about Indian market so that I can understand what is going to happen to Tata Steel as a company, right? So the reason I was asking guys at the start of the class that, okay, what's your educational background? My key point was, do you come from a commerce background or a science background? Not that it matters anything when you're doing financial modeling as a topic, but people have got a concern. Oh, I do not have a commerce background. Can I do financial modeling? Obviously, yes, you can do financial modeling. And most of the time, people doing financial modeling or people who are into research industry are the people who are engineers, right? So it's not must for you to have a commerce background. And guys, there's a difference between accounting and finance. It's a financial modeling. You should know finance. What is accounting? That you should know how to prepare the financial statements. No, that's not the requirement here. You should be able to understand the finance. So the requirement here is you should know how to analyze it, not how to prepare it. So that's the key difference here. Now, Tarun, coming to a question, these are the certificates. I'll just zoom it in a bit. So you get two certificates. One is a certificate of participation. Now, what is this course? This is if you attend the classes, I think you need a particular percentage of your attendance. In that case, this is a sample certificate you get, and this is a certificate for participation that you are regular in the classes and you did this course. So this is how the certificate will look like. It's also like issued by BSc and EduPristine in collaboration. So the stamp from BSc means a lot. So in case of India, if you got a stamp of BSc in your certificate, that's really, really important one. And then the other one you get is a certificate of excellence. So for this, you have to clear a test. And trust me, guys, if you've done your classes well and you understood the classes properly, it should not be difficult for you to clear this test. And once you clear this test, you get a certificate of excellence. So if you're regular in the classroom and you can complete the exam in time, you get a certificate of participation and also you get a certificate of excellence. Does that answer your question, Tarun? Cool. So we'll just like talk a bit about EduPristine, but we won't spend too much time on that. And then I can take questions from your side. So guys, EduPristine is a leading education provider in for CFA, for financial reporting, for financial modeling, and for FRM, and for many other courses. And they have been like in the existence from past 13 years or so. I've been associated with EduPristine for almost 9 or 10 years now. They give lots of soft skills training as well for people. Uh, they provide you like full support, but we'll get into more details as and when you plan to join the classrooms. Generally, faculties are topic experts. What do I mean by topic experts? Let's say if I go back to the curriculum. So let's say I'm very comfortable telling you like how an FMCG company operates because I have an exposure working in FMCG industry. But let's say when we come to this live case, and this live case is let's say for ICICI Bank. I don't know the research, how to analyze or how to research a banking company. So in that case, the person who will come for that classroom is generally a person who has experience analyzing that particular company in that particular industry. I may be very good when it comes to mergers and acquisitions, but I'm not the best person when it comes to macros and VBA. So it's not that a single faculty will take all the 14 sessions. Generally, the faculty who is expert into that particular topic will come for the classrooms. But guys, I'm not denying a point that maybe a faculty comes and you're not very happy with the faculty. So in that case, there's a feedback mechanism. Oh, wait a minute, feedback. Oh my God, you keep giving feedback all the time to Airtel and to Vodafone, and what happens? Nothing. But in this case, just for your knowledge, the feedback determines 20 to 30% of my pay. And also, if it's not just about a pay, if you give me a feedback below a particular point, so it's a 5-point feedback. So there are 4 parameters. On each parameter, you have to give me a feedback from a rating of 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. So on an average, if I get a rating of less than 4, 4.2 from all the people across all the parameters on an average, if my average is less than 4 or 4.2, you would not see me ever again. So all I say is like, as a faculty, I should be mature that when I come to a classroom, I should be an expert and I should be able to give my best. But let's say if I'm immature and just like I come unprepared or I'm not good for it, then you should be mature. And you, without having any soft corner, just give a very practical feedback. What you think is the faculty is good at and what you think the faculty is not good at. So that way, the feedback really matters in case of EduPristine for the students and also for the faculty. Okay, that being said, let's continue back, go back to the EduPristine thing. So faculties are topic experts, and also like most of the time, the people who are going to come and teach you, they are not like the freshers or just like did their MBA. Generally, they are like the people who are seasoned and lots of experience behind them. So the best thing, guys, is that let's say if a person with 10 years of experience into research industry taking your sessions, they will not be just talking books. They can give you lots of real life examples from their own experience. So, this is the rating I was talking about. So the student rating on an average is 4.68 out of a scale of 5. So if somebody gets like 4.2 or 4.3, they might get a second chance. But if you get like less than 4, no second chance for those faculties. But guys, when I say like less than 4, let's say if you don't like the color of my t-shirt or if you don't like my face, and that's the reason you gave me a rating of less than 4, but others don't have an issue with those kind of things. So what matters is the average rating. Okay. So it's just not about how's your feedback, but how's the feedback overall, what matters. Now, guys, also what EduPristine does and help you is that once you're done with this course, they help you in the placement, because that's the final thing, right? Okay, it's one thing is you keep upscaling yourself, but again, what matters eventually is your placement. If you can leverage on it and get a good job. So, they help you into resume building, also help you in interviews. And the best thing, guys, they give you placement lead. One of the key source for them to give placement lead is their faculties. So for example, me as a faculty, I'm not like full-time employed with EduPristine, I'm a freelancer. So from Monday to Friday, I'm working with an investment bank. From Saturday, Sunday, I come to EduPristine to take some classes, given it's my passion. So, like EduPristine can come to me and say, oh, hey, Ansh, we have got this particular student who has done financial modeling course. This is his resume, or this is her background. So do you have an opportunity in your bank or in your company where he or she fits? So this is how, you get some of the placement leads through faculties and other alumni. So in many of the cases, guys, the faculties which are being hired here, or also EduPristine has been associated with these institutes in terms of getting the faculties and providing corporate trainings. So I'm sure, like some of these names are very well known. It's KPMG, EY, BofA, Bank of America, HSBC, Credit Suisse, JP Morgan, Franklin Templeton. So, like they have got associations with some of the big corporates. And also when it comes to academic institutes, they have got association with FMS Delhi, a very nice institute. I'm not sure whether you heard. ISB, the topmost MBA college, IIMS, and some of the other IITs. Okay, so just coming to financial modeling, like what EduPristine has to offer you. So these are the classroom training. Sorry, let's not call it classroom training. These are the online trainings, like on a virtual platform for now. They they also give you some workbooks, Excel based workbooks for you to do some practice before or after the class. And there'll be 14 sessions of 5 hours each, so total 70 hours of commitment. Also, they give you notes which you can refer during the class or after the class. If you attend the classes regularly, you get a certificate of participation, and once you complete the assignment successfully, you get a certificate of excellence. And the approach here is, guys, case study approach, not a bookish approach, in the sense that you get some some uh, dummy case studies or some real life case studies to practice on. And guys, during your classes or after your classes, if you need some assistance in terms of you facing some issues or you want to discuss some doubts, there'll always be a support available from the institute. So guys, these are the contact details. I'll just drop a message to somebody, but like these are the details. You can just take a photo of it. Let's say once you decide and everything you got a discussion done on that, these are the payment details. Just you can take a screenshot of the slide or you can take a photo, whatever works. I'll give you like maybe 20-30 seconds. And this, like, you can get in touch with this number, or you can drop an email to this person. So guys, I'll wait for a minute now. Let me know if you want me to go through some of the slides which we already gone through. Okay, guys, sorry. So I've got a couple of questions. Is the exam online or offline? So here the exam will be online. So you'll be sent an exam like through an email, and I think you'll be given a couple of days for you to complete that assignment and send it back to the institute, right? And then it will be evaluated. And if you've done a good job, you'll get the certificate of excellence. The fees and recording of class. So now guys, like I know that you would have a question, then when is the batch starting, what will be the timing of the batch, and what is the fees for the batch. So these are the three key questions: the timing, dates, and the fees. So for these three questions, generally, like depending on the feedback from the students and like how many students want to start classes, the salesperson will get in touch with you from EduPristine in next 24 to 48 hours, and they will give you a call individually to discuss and to know your interest. So you can discuss all these things like the fees, the class start date, and the timings with that person. So you do not have to do anything. You'll get a call, but just in case you do not get a call in the next 24 to 48 hours, you can contact on this number, or you can drop an email at care@edupristine.com. Recording of class. So yes, generally what we do is even this class for that matter is getting recorded. So generally what will happen is that it's very important that you attend the class live. But even let's say you attended the class, but you want to, revisit some of the topics, or because of some personal reasons, you could not attend the first 1 hour or the last 1 hour. In those cases, the entire recording will be sent to you in a couple of days time, so that you can go through the trainings for multiple times as much as you want in the next few days. Just seeing any other question. Can we ask questions on the given contact number? Yes. So you can ask all your doubts, but what I would suggest is let them call you in next 24 to 48 hours. In case they don't call you, you can get in touch with this person, with the person on this number. Okay, guys. So I'm here for another 10 minutes. Sorry for the late start today, but just to make up, I'm here for another 5 to 10 minutes. In case you got any question, any doubts, even if it's very specific for yourself. But otherwise, guys, if you do not have any doubt, feel free to leave. And in case you got any doubts, please stay back and ask me, and I'm happy to answer. If you want, I can unmute you as well, guys. If you want to speak out your answer, if you think that'll be more comfortable. Any other questions? Any other doubts? Do you want me to spend time on something else, guys? Please feel free. I'm around for next few minutes. The question is, can you explain me how to get a job in investment banking or equity research? Um, I know it's not like a simple answer to that question, but Hanush, like I know that you replied me, but just can you remind me again, like what's your educational background? I think you've done your MCA, right? Can you just quickly remind what's your educational background? Oh yeah. So I think you have got a background in MBA International Finance. So in that case, Hanush, I would say that you already have a, like your PG done, but still given the market conditions, it's not easy to get a job in these industries in the recent times. So let's say if it was like 2006, 2007, the peak of the financial world, it's very easy to get a job. But let's say if you're in a time like this, even people who had a job doesn't have a job now. So what I would suggest is that, can you tell me like where are you located? Like which city are you located in? Oh, Bangalore. Wow. So even I'm from Bangalore. Any which way. So I would say that in Bangalore, like you got a couple of options. One would be you can make a note of it and I can just type it on an Excel sheet so you can see that. So a couple of options you have is Moody's Copalamba. So it's not an investment bank per se, but they do lots of work for other investment banks. So let's say it might be very difficult for you to get a job in Deutsche Bank, but if you get a job in Copalamba, technically you're working for Deutsche Bank. So that's one option you can try. They'll do lots of good work in financial research and equity analysis. The other option in Bangalore would be HSBC, obviously. And another option which I know is North, who are into credit analysis. Other option, I'm just thinking what could be the other options. Hmm. And how open are you, Hanush, to move out of Bangalore? And I can give you other options outside Bangalore as well. But what I can like with your background, I think it'll be easy for you to get a job in these firms in Bangalore. And I'm sure, yeah, another one is State Street. They also do some of this work. Goldman Sachs, a bit difficult to get into it, but you can always try. They have an office in Bangalore. So these are the firms I can think of within Bangalore. Okay, all South Indian cities, Hanush. In that case, I would add in Chennai, you get an option of there's a company called Irevna. So actually, it's a part of CRISIL. Within CRISIL, it's a Global Research and Analysis Department. We call it GRA. So within so CRISIL GRA is so CRISIL is a very big organization. Within that organization, you're looking for GRA department. That could be good. There's a Spark Capital, which might be interesting for you. These are the two names which I know from Chennai. So I just like try with these 6, 7 names. I think you might get some good leads. Going to Rakesh, how financial modeling and up to what extent will it help in getting jobs? So Rakesh, with your MBA in finance already, I would say like financial modeling is a good complement in the sense that you already know what you should know in terms of your formulae, in terms of your theory. But this financial modeling as a course allows you to apply those things in real life. Understood? So I cannot quantify that how much percentage of chance will increase in case of job. But let's say that two people with MBA in finance, one person does not have a financial modeling background, other person has a financial modeling background. Obviously, as an interviewer, I'll prefer the person with financial modeling background. I know it's very obvious, but this is how, the competition is increasing in this world that 10 years back, if I need an MBA, if I need 5 MBAs, only 4 people are applying because only 4 people have done their MBAs. But now, even if I need one person with MBA, the 100 people applying for it. But I did not have time and energy to interview 100 people. So I increase my hurdle. I say, okay, MBA is not enough. You should have a prior experience. Still, there are 50 people. Then I say, okay, MBA is not enough. You need a prior experience, and you should have a financial modeling background. So for that matter, given the competition is so high, you just want to stay ahead of others in terms of your resume. Okay, guys. So I think there is no further doubts. All the best, and Talk to you sometime soon, guys. Thank you, guys, and have a nice day.